Hey, so we got a Nintendo Switch unboxing here. Nintendo Switch 2. Well, this isn't my video, but we can look through the inside of a Nintendo Switch 2 box. So far, so good. This looks pretty nice. Open up the box. You got your Joy-Cons and your Nintendo Switch there. It's looking good. Oh, 7.9 1080p. Yeah, that's pretty decent display. See, what it is, the Joy-Con, they look good. They look good. I'm gonna pause it. They look good, but I want to see the connector for the Joy-Cons. That's what's really bugging me. I know the old Joy-Cons, they just slid into place. So I want to see, I know these are magnets, but there's something about the way, oh, there's something, that's a nice little Joy-Con, that's a nice little controller. Looks just like, see that right there? Did you see that? Did you see those little clips there? I couldn't stress how flimsy those things look, but I haven't got it in my hand. This isn't my. I'm just reacting to it. USB Type C. Right, plug. Your base station there. Nice base station. I'm glad that Nintendo didn't try to reinvent the wheel. They knew what worked and they just worked on top of it. Not too bad. USB ports there at the side. Okay, it's pretty much the same old. You know. mm, yeah, it's not bad inside. You got the HDMI port there. Don't know that the HDMI Type C LAN cable. Okay, nice, nice. Okay, yeah. I like the glossiness of it as well. It's really nice and glossy. But the thing about gloss, it builds. It can get a lot of scratches on it. I'd rather have matte than gloss because I've had gloss like items. You know, when you get this matte, you just can't see the scratches that much. But when you have gloss, even when you try and clean it, you start to see these little fine scratches in the light. I mean, that's just me being fussy, but you know. Okay, so those are attached to the Joy-Con. Okay. Okay, yeah, put it together. Take it out of the packet. Come on, come on. Finally, this guy taking forever to take it out. All right, they've got the air vents there. I like that it's got a better kickstand because the other kickstand was really flimsy. I mean, I thought it was a joke that they had that type of kickstand to hold up the whole screen. It was like this can't be real, right? But someone at Nintendo thought this was fine. Like, yeah, let that be the kickstand. I mean, it's just to hold the screen up, but it was one of those things that if you were to tilt it slightly, it would just knock over, and it was just kind of flimsy in the way that sometimes it just broke off. But you can clip them back in, but they broke off. The game card slot. That's what I'm trying to say. They haven't really reinvented the wheel here. It's pretty much the same as the normal Switch. It's the same thing. Imagine sitting down there for maybe 6, 7 years and you're like, so what we're gonna do with the Nintendo Switch 2? It's like same thing, better graphics. You know, as I said before, they try to reinvent the wheel certain times. Like sometimes it works, and that's what I talk about. The switch, the kickstand is much better. That is much better. Yeah, that's what I like to see. And that don't look so flimsy. Nintendo's one of those companies that they take one step forward and two steps back. Like, the kickstand's good. That's a step forward. I don't like gonna break anytime soon. But I shouldn't get too much turn it on. So the Joy-Cons are magnetic. Okay. Well, I knew that from the trailer. We knew they were magnetic, but it's just how they work. Like, you see, I'm gonna pause it. See those two things in those that little black thing right there. How strong is that? How strong? That's why I waited for the unboxing. I just wanted to see how strong is that. Cause I know for a fact that if you're a 6 year old and you bought this for a 6 year old, that's gonna snap off very easily. That's why I'm trying to say that they take one step forward, two steps back. I don't understand how they thought this was going to be. This is good. How do they think this is good? Uh, And the thing about it, it's not like you plug it into the. If this, it's one of those things where you think that Nintendo did it deliberately. So if this snaps off, you have to buy a whole new screen, and that that's the most expensive part of the console, the screen part. Joy-Cons are expensive, but not expensive as the whole screen. And if these break off, that's it, man. You can't use it. I mean, you can probably use your Joy-Con. I think maybe you can use them wirelessly. I think that's one of the cases you probably could use them wirelessly. But this looks like a very bad and poor design choice. They do weird things, Nintendo. Look at that! Look at that! It click. I know it's magnetic, clicks in, but man, that is flimsy. That looks really flimsy. Nah, give it again. It looks really flimsy. How strong are those? That's really. You gotta sit down there and think to themselves like, it must be deliberate. There's no way they thought to themselves like, oh yeah, this will be good. It's a good idea. It's the worst design choice ever. Normally Nintendo they build their products there for with kids in mind. I just don't feel that this is the case with this console. I mean, yeah, the games are for kids, but they're normally like kid proof. Like you can give it to like a 6 year old and it'll take him a while for him to destroy it. Or they, you know what I mean? Like we'll see, because I want to see that. Okay, that's how you take them apart. I'm still saying it looks flimsy. Still saying. I think this is going to be the adult version. I think they're going to make one where the control pads or the Joy Cons are built in. That's what they did. That's what they did with this Nintendo Switch One. You had the whole thing was like a whole unit, and the Joy Cons couldn't be detached. But see, the thing about that is that I have a brother, and I bought him a Nintendo Switch, and the way he plays with it, it's bad. He has this thing where he likes to play Fortnite and he flips his fingers around. And I don't say it's Joy-Con drift. It's more like broke the buttons, and the directional pad just messed up. You know, and luckily, all we had to do is buy him a new Joy-Con, and the games he can play the games, and the directional pad's okay. He said it was drift. It wasn't just drift. The buttons were gone. So he completely destroyed the buttons. But when you have it all built in, that's it. Now you just destroy the buttons and the console, you know, and the directional pad. You have to buy a whole new console. That's the whole point. You know, when you have it all built in, that's the thing. You can't just buy a new Joy-Con. Okay, they haven't really changed much from the display. I mean, Nintendo's they've always been about the games anyway. It's never really been about the console. The console's just a vessel for good games, you know, fun games. You know, you get your Mario, you get your Zelda. Oh, he almost slipped and scratched his screen there, man. Oh boy, oh boy. Look at that. Don't you think this is the worst idea of having to click your control pads in compared to how they had it before where you slid them in? It's like they're going backwards in the way they're designing things. Sometimes I scratch my head, I'm like, what is Nintendo doing? You just wonder, like, they make great games, but some of the things they do with their consoles, it's like mind-bogglingly strange. Even I can figure it out. Like, what is this? Why would you do this? It might be like, you remember the Virtual Boy? You think about all the brains behind Nintendo, and they think they would like to play games in red, like all the colors. And this is what I'm trying to say. It's, they do things, and sometimes you just scratch your head and think, who thought it was a great idea to make a virtual reality console where the games are just red? And then the way you had to play it as well, it really hurt your neck. I mean, they never thought that through. And sometimes they do these things. Their design choices of how you put things together, how you use things, like Nintendo, like the Wii U tooth. Now that was just, you know, that was crazy. Like some of the games that they designed, it's just they felt uncomfortable to play. And they thought it was a good idea. You're gonna be looking at one screen and then looking at another, one screen and another. I know they were trying to make it like the DS, but a home console DS, nah. It wasn't really something that really worked with me when I was playing games. I remember playing Zelda on there, and you had like map there. Everything it kind of works with some games, and some games it didn't work. Like Star Fox, that was terrible. It was very hard to be able to play that game. They forced you to use the control pad when you didn't want to use it. They should have allowed you to use another way of playing the game, but this is what I'm trying to keep saying. Nintendo very weird when it comes to design choices. And these Joy Cons, the way you connect them, they come across very strange. They look like they're gonna be very flimsy, like they're gonna break. Who told them to mess with the design choice? They could have kept everything intact the way everything was before, but instead they went and messed with things. Things that were a problem, things that were a problem, they should have just like solved. Like the kickstand problem. Things that aren't a problem, they messed with. Anyway, I'm out. You can like and subscribe. This isn't really my video. I'm just commenting on what I can see, and from what I can see, they are causing themselves problems yet again. It's that Nintendo. It's what Nintendo does. It's one step forward, two steps back. They solve one problem with the kickstand, and then they go mess with the Joy Cons and make it all flimsy, and it look like this is gonna break. Give this to a 7-year old, it's gonna break easily, and then you guys have to splash out another. And these things they ain't cheap. You know. Anyway, yeah. Like and subscribe. I'm out.